Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to start a new lesson, that is lesson 16, chemistry in everyday life. But before starting the lesson, I will let you know about the project file. I will be giving you the topics for project file in today's homework. So please listen carefully the following points. Now the first point is I have assigned separate topics for all of you. Second point is the pattern of the project file should be exactly same as in class 11th. Next point is minimum 20 to 25 pages should be there in each project file. Next point is diagrams are compulsory in project file. Next point is writing should be neat and clean. Next point is diagrams should be made with pencils only. Next point is index is compulsory in each project file. Next point is use A4 size paper only to prepare the project file. Do not use the rule pages of the practical pages which are in the form of a rule line. Do not use such papers. And in case of any query related to the project file, or if you have any doubt in the project file regarding the color of the pen or diagrams or anything else, you can contact me. Now let us start the chapter, that is chemistry in everyday life. So here we have studied about the chemistry, or chemistry means the chemicals or the use of the chemical in our everyday life. Think of the cleanliness. The material like soap, detergents, household bleaches, toothpaste will come to your mind. They all are prepared with the help of the chemicals. If we thought about the clothes, definitely the clothes contain the synthetic fiber, they contain the color, they all belongs to the field of the chemistry or the chemical. If we are talking about the food material, so in the food material we are talking about the preservatives, or we are talking about the food color, so they also belongs to the chemistry. They are purely chemical synthesis. So chemistry has influenced our life so much that we do not even realize that we come across chemical at every moment of our life. That we ourselves are beautiful chemical creations, and all our activities are controlled by the chemical, because inside our body there are so many chemicals which control our body as a hormones. So in this unit, or in this chapter, we have studied about the chemical importance of chemical, but basically this chapter is depend upon the medicines or the drugs or the medicines. Or we know that human body is prone to many diseases, so the drugs or the medicines are the chemical substances which are given time to time, and these have a range of applications such as diagnosis, prevention and curing of the diseases. So the choice of a drug for a particular disease is based on the fact that its action must be localized without any side effect. But in actual practice, it is not so. So no doubt these drugs are administered by a doctor or a physician, but they are synthesized by the chemist. Or if we are talking about the drugs or the medicine, so they are the pure chemical. They are a very important topic of the chemistry, and they are the pure chemical. So in this chapter we have studied about the drugs, about the medicine, types of the drugs, how the drugs affect your body. So the first topic of this chapter is drugs. So the drugs are the chemicals of low molecular masses, low molecular masses, that is from 100 to 500 unit. Drugs are the chemicals of low molecular masses, that is from 100 to 500 unit. These interact with the macromolecular targets and produce a biological response. Now here we use a term, that is macromolecular targets. Macromolecular targets are also termed as the targets. These targets, they are also called drug targets. Macromolecular targets, they are also called the targets, and they are also known as the drug targets. So here the macromolecular targets means these are the biomolecules which are present inside our body. We all know very well there are lots of biomolecules which are present in our body, like carbohydrates, vitamins, lipids. These are minerals. These are nucleic acids. These are proteins. So macromolecular target means biomolecules. Example: carbohydrate, vitamins, lipids, mineral, nucleic acid, and proteins. So when the biological response which is provided by the drugs, when the biological response is therapeutic, that is therapeutic, when the biological response is therapeutic and useful, so that time these chemicals are called medicine. When the biological response is therapeutic or useful, at that time the chemicals are called the medicine. Now here we use the term therapeutic. So therapeutic is relating to the healing of disease. This therapeutic word is related to the healing of disease. We can also understand it as it is a therapy. It is a type of a therapy. These are not medicine. These are the therapeutic purpose, therapy. So therapeutic treatment is designed to treat an illness or to improve a person's health rather than to prevent the illness. So this is called the therapeutic. If taken in doses higher than the recommended, if we use the medicine in the higher doses recommended, which are not recommended by the doctor, if doctor recommend the lower dose for the medicine and we have used the higher dose of that medicine, so at that time these medicine also act as a poison. These medicines also act as a poison. They have a potential to behave as a poison. So if we use the chemical for therapy, there is one more term. Now the use of the chemical for the therapy or the use of the chemical for the therapeutic effect, that time there is a particular word is used which is known as chemotherapy. And we all know very well that chemotherapy is very useful for the patients which are suffering from a deadly disease called the cancer. Now the next topic is the classification of the drugs. So drugs can be classified mainly on the given criteria. So the first criteria for the classification is on the basis of pharmacological effect. This basis is very important for the doctor because this classification is based on the pharmacological effect of a drug. So it is useful for the doctors because it provide this pharmacological effect. It provide them the whole range of drugs available for the treatment of a particular type of problem. Now, for example, analgesics have a pain killing effect. Antiseptics kill the microorganism. Antihistamine is used to kill the allergy of the body. So this effect, this type is very important for the doctor to find out the exact problem. So this is the first type of the classification. Now the second type of classification is on the basis of drug action. This is the second type on the basis of drug action. So it is based on the action of a drug on a particular biochemical process. For example, all antihistamines, all antihistamines, that is antihistamine used against, it is used against the allergy. So all the antihistamines inhibit the action of a compound, that is histamine. Antihistamine inhibit the action of a compound which is called histamine, which causes inflammation in the body. So there are various ways in which action of histamine can be blocked. We have the variety of the uh, effects, or we have the variety of the ways by which the action of the histamine can be blocked. So the choice of the antihistamine drug, there are various drugs which are comes in the under the category of the antihistamine. So the choice of a particular drug depend upon the nature of allergy against which it is to act. Now the next classification is the classification based on the molecular target. As we have already discussed that the molecular target or the macromolecular target or the drug target means the biomolecule. So the selection of a drug is also linked with the nature of the target called the molecular target, and these targets are basically the biomolecules such as the carbohydrate, lipids, protein, nucleic acid, etc. Now the next topic is drug target interaction, means how the drug interact with the target. Target means the biomolecules. The different biomolecules have a specific role to perform in the human body made up of cells. Actually, in our body there are various biomolecules, so each and every biomolecule have their own function or their own specific role. So both carbohydrate and lipid, if we are talking about the carbohydrate and the lipid, so they both constitute the structural part of the cell membrane. The structural part of the cell membrane is made with the help of the carbohydrate and the lipid, and the nucleic acid is responsible to carry the genetic information from one generation to the another generation. And protein have a variety of roles to perform. The protein which act as a biological catalyst, the protein which act as a biological catalyst, that is catalyst, uh, are known as enzymes. So enzymes are basically the protein whose function is to act as a biological catalyst. Similarly, those responsible for the communication system in the body, there are various protein inside our body which are responsible for the communication, and these are known as the receptors. These are called the receptors. So the protein which are responsible for the biological catalyst are called the enzyme, and which are responsible for the communication are called the receptors. Now the next topic is enzyme as a drug target. Under this heading, the first subtopic is catalytic action on enzyme. So to understand the interaction between the drug and the enzyme, it is important to know how do enzyme catalyze the reaction. For that, if we have the enzyme, when it combine with the SS stand for the substrate or any reactant, we get ES, and this is known as enzyme substrate complex. Then in the next step, enzyme substrate, after the enzyme substrate complex, we get the product, and from here the enzyme is released or enzyme is dissociated from the product, and now this enzyme is ready to catalyze the another reaction. Enzyme is not used in the reaction, it is only catalyze the reaction. Now this enzyme liberate from the product and it is used for any other reaction to catalyzed. So in the complex, the amino acid present on the enzyme contain the amino acid, so the amino acid present on the enzyme act as a active site. This is the active site, this space is the active site, this is the amino acid which is present in the enzyme. They hold the substrate or the reactant. Substrate are also called the reactant. So they hold the substrate molecule through the variety of interaction. Here the interaction word is used as a bond, depending upon the nature of the substrate. So this interaction between this is the substrate and this is the enzyme. So this interaction between the substrate and the enzyme may be because of the hydrogen bonding, or either with the ionic bonding, or because of the van der Waals interaction. So these bonding interaction must be strong enough to hold the enzyme and the substrate together in the complex, and weak enough to enable the release of the product from the complex. So what exactly happened? This is the enzyme, this is the active site of the enzyme, and this active site of the enzyme is because of the amino acid. When the substrate come in contact with this enzyme, here it is a substrate or it is a reactant. So now this active site, in this active site, the substrate enter in this active site and it form the enzyme substrate complex. This enzyme substrate complex is this one. This is the formation of the enzyme substrate complex, and these two are combined with each other because of the strong forces like hydrogen bonding, ionic bonding, or the van der Waals forces. And at last, after this step, the product is formed and the enzyme is removed from the product, and now this enzyme is used to catalyze the another kind or another type of the reaction, and this whole process is known as the catalytic action on the enzyme. This is the method, or this is the way by which the enzyme catalyze a particular type of a reaction. Now the next category under the enzyme as a drug target is the drug enzyme interaction. The role of a drug is to hinder the formation of enzyme substrate complex, and it can be done in the two ways. By two ways we can hinder the formation of enzyme substrate complex. The first way is, there is a competition between the chemical constituent of the drug and the chemical constituent of the substrate to attack the active site which is present on the enzyme. The drugs are often called the competitive inhibitor. Here the drugs are also called the competitive inhibitors, which means that they inhibit or block the attack of substrate on these available sites. So we can easily understand this topic by the given diagram. This is the enzyme, this is the active site of the enzyme, this is the substrate, and this one is the drug. So there is a competition in between the chemical substance of the substrate and the chemical substance of the drug to occupy this position or to occupy the active site. Now here the drugs are also called the competitive inhibitor, means they inhibit or they block the attack of the substrate on the active site of the enzyme. So what happened in the next step? In this active site, in place of the substrate, the drug occupy the place, and here the substrate is left. Now this is the enzyme, this is the drug, and here the substrate is left as the byproduct. So, and this is the enzyme surface. So both, in case of this diagram, both the drug and the substrate approaches towards the active site, but here in this diagram the drug has occupied the site and blocked the substrate and blocked the place for the substrate. So this is a competition between the drug and the substrate to attack the active site on the enzyme catalyst, and this is how the drug interact with the enzyme. This is the way how the drug interact with the enzyme.